Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about perfect competition and how we go from the short run to the long run when you have a change in demand for the good in this market. So what I'm going to do before I really get into this is I'm just going to continue to label and set up my perfectly competitive market that's in a long run equilibrium. From there, we'll put in the change in demand, and then we're going to have either short run losses or short run profits, and then I can show you how we'll go from that short run situation back to the long run. So what I've got first, I have my demand curve is downward sloping for the market, and the supply curve will be upward sloping, and I have my market price and my market quantity. I'll call it QM and PM. And because each individual firm is going to be a price taker, I'm going to take this across, and I've already made the line in there for the individual demand curve. And this is the demand. It is also marginal revenue. It is also the price and average revenue, but I'm going to leave it there for now. And then I have my cost curves. I want to put those in. So my marginal cost curve will look like a check mark. Because I'm in long run equilibrium, I'm going to have my average total cost curve come down, intersect both those points, and then come back up. And that might be as good as I can do. And from there, I know that when MR equals MC, that's going to be my my individual firm's quantity, and it's going to be at this price. And this should be also where my cost per good is. So that right now my cost per good is the same as my price per good, so I'm in a normal profit. So if there is a change in demand, so in this case, let's say if the price of a substitute good increases, that means that the demand for your good, for in this case, the demand for carrots will increase. What I'll do is I'm just going to draw in my new demand curve. So it's going to be a shift to the right. I'll call this D1, and then from there I'm going to have a new quantity QM1 and a new price, and so change in demand is going to increase the price for this good. I'll call it PM1. Now each individual firm is going to have to take this higher price, and I'll draw that over. So I've got now my new demand curve D1 equals MR1. Now in this situation right now, where my marginal revenue curve hits my marginal cost curve is now at a greater quantity. So this individual farmer is going to produce more. They're producing more, and because this rectangle here, let's see if I can shade in, because this rectangle here, the quantity times the price, because this yellow rectangle is greater than the rectangle I can create when I use my average total cost, which is right here. My average total cost would be about right there, and I'll highlight this. That point right there is my cost per good, and so that rectangle and then this part down would be my total cost. So in this case, the yellow rectangle, my total revenue, is greater than that blue rectangle, which is my total cost. So what I've got right now is a profit in the short run. See if I can clean up these rectangles here. So what I'm going to do now is explain what will happen in the long run when you have a short run profit. So profits are going to attract new firms, and so there'll be new firms in the industry. So what that means is the supply for the industry is going to increase and the price will fall until everybody earns a normal profit. So when you earn normal profits, there's no incentive to join the industry, and there's also no incentive to leave the industry. So in this case, I'm going to have the supply increase, and it's going to come back until I actually was at the same price that I was before when I was earning a normal profit, which you can see from right there. So my supply curve, and I know my supply curve is going to intersect the demand curve right there because it'll be at that price. So I'm going to draw on a new supply curve, call this S1, where I'm at an even greater market quantity now, QM2, and a new price, which is actually the same as the original. And we take this over, and so my new price, let's see if I can draw this neatly, my new price is the same as my old one. So it'll be the second demand curve, or in this case D2, which is the third one. So what has happened now is that new firms have entered the industry, the price has fallen, and it has fallen back to its original price. Our quantity has now decreased because MR equals MC at the original quantity, so I'll call it QF2, and we are right back where you started in a long run equilibrium. So the change in demand curve is a little bit easier because your cost curves don't change, but oftentimes you end up going in a circle where demand is going to change the price either up or down, and then the new firms will enter, or firms will exit the industry, and then the price will go back to its original amount, and that's what's happened here. So we went from the long run equilibrium, then into the short run with a change in demand, and then the supply will change as we go back to a long run equilibrium.